By the gods, forgive me. I was so lost in thought regarding one of my other commissions that I didn't realize a patron had come. My sincere apologies. Thank you for your grace. Am I right to assume that you need a new outfit for the upcoming ball being held by the dukes? I am far from prophetic, but I thank you for the compliment. Truthfully, I only guessed this because a majority of my patrons have been requiring the same as you. When there's an event such as this, it is only fitting to look your best. You're not the only individual with that thought in mind. Seeing as you are new, I should explain to you a bit about myself and the work that I do. I am Caterina Lugano, and I am both a tailor and a dressmaker. Regardless if you want a suit, a dress, I can accommodate to those needs. All you have to do is say the word, pay me, and I will make a piece to your heart's desire. Oh, I see. You've already seen my work. Sometimes I forget that individuals in the higher classes are starting to wear my pieces. It seems a little unreal that they spread it by word of mouth, and then I end up getting more patrons like you that are much higher caliber than I'm used to working with, and that's not what you're here for. You're here for an outfit. Hush, Katerina, hush. If you would oblige me by coming to the counter so we can get the basic details out of the way. Thank you. Now, what were you seeking when you came in here today? A suit? A dress? All right, I can do that. Anything particular you need on it? Any house emblems or general design aspects that make it more comfortable for you? Okay. Anything you can't stand being on your outfit? Let me know so I can avoid those design aspects fervently. Noted. Thank you. Did you want to come with me to search through the back room for a fabric that would please you? No, it would be no problem at all. Just follow me this way. Here are all of the fabrics I currently have in stock. According to how much you want to spend on your clothing, we have pricier fabrics such as silk or cloth infused with silvers and gold. Of course, there's always the more tame cotton and furs. Along with the fabric, we can add certain embellishments such as certain chains or belts that coordinate in order to elevate the piece. That's only if you wish, though. I will give you a moment to look through the fabrics. If nothing here satisfies you, then you can request a specific one, though that could add cost to the outfit depending on how difficult it is for us to source and the cost of the fabric itself. But you should know it's always an option. I will just be over to the side getting a few things ready to take your measurements. Feel free to interrupt me if you have any questions. If I just move this over here, and then I need to make sure I have something to write with. And I need to take out my measuring tape. And then after that, I think I have everything in order. You're a fan of that fabric? A fine choice indeed. Would now be a good time to get your measurements? Great. Let me know if I'm becoming a little too invasive or if a certain aspect is becoming uncomfortable. Firstly, make sure your posture's correct. Keep your feet together. breathe normally, and most importantly, don't suck in your stomach. It's tempting, but ultimately your clothing will end up being too tight to wear comfortably. Got all that? Good. I'll be taking quite a few measurements, so try to stay fairly still. I'll start with your neck. Alright, let me note this down. May I ask something? Was there any specific reason you decided to come to my shop? I have a few recurring patrons, and I remember all of them. None of them in the same caliber as you, so I have to assume that one of my one-off patrons must have persuaded you to come here. Gods, Lady Gaspari has a piece for me? I had no clue. I mean, normally I remember more significant patrons like that, but she must have sent someone in her place to tell me the measurements and the specifics for the piece. Goodness, to think one of the ruling houses has worn my work. I could implode with happiness. But I won't, because I need to finish my work and measure your chest. Then I move on to your waist. Next, your hips. Huh? This is only awkward if you make it awkward. I do this as a career, so there's no need to be shy or embarrassed. I'm sure you've had to go through the same procedures with other tailors and dressmakers. Taking all of these measurements are critical for making well-fitting clothing. Or are you a bit shy because of something I've done? I won't be offended if that's the reason. Once I had a confusing patron that wanted a new gown. That's all fine and good, but they didn't want me to touch her and take her measurements, which is a bit of a hassle, but I can work with it if she would just tell me her measurements. However, she was adamant about not telling me them. Then she got all frustrated that I was refusing her commission. But what was I expected to make without knowing how large or small to make the garment? It's like demanding cooks to make a dinner for a party, but refusing to tell them how many people are eating, so they either make way too much or far too little. It's a lose-lose situation. Yeah, she was a bit confused. Though when your job deals with actively servicing people, there's never a shortage of strange or perplexing situations. Moving on to your front waist length. Though I'm not trying to imply that I have a distaste for my patrons. Never. I'm very thankful for their continued patronage. Through them, my brother and I can support ourselves and our mother. Yes, my brother works in the store as well. He handles most of the administrative and sourcing work, keeping track of our books and the taxes we owe, as well as getting a continuous flow of fabric into the store so we always have stock on hand. With him doing that, I can focus fully on creating concepts and finishing the sewing to complete them. We're a team. I'll just take your shoulder and arm measurements, and you should be all set for the day. I would suggest coming back in a couple of days. I'll have some patterns set aside for you, and we can see if I need to make any adjustments to it. Along with that, I'll have a couple of color variations for the fabric you like, so we can see which shade fits you. Does that sound agreeable? Great. You have a very nice form. Sorry, is that too much? I just noticed as I was taking my measurements. No. You're not allowed to put yourself down. Not within my shop. All of my patrons are beautiful. Therefore you are beautiful, and no one can criticize your looks. Not even yourself. And now that I have your measurements, you're all done. You can relax your posture now. If you're fidgety after that, you better prepare yourself for our next session. It might involve some pinning, and unless you want to accidentally get pricked, it's in your best interest to stay still. Not that I would intentionally prick you, but pins are pins, and they're very pokey. They wouldn't be able to do their job if they weren't pokey. What purpose would they even serve if they weren't pokey? I suppose there's always a purpose for everything, but I got nothing. And I was supposed to excuse you out. Forgive my tangent. Well, I'm delighted that you have entrusted me with your outfitting needs, and I will work my hardest to create a piece that will amaze everyone in the ball. If you ever need to call on me, I'll be here at, nearly all hours of the day. Oh, let me get the door for you. Thank you for your patronage. I look forward to seeing you again soon.